Do you ever feel like a lack of motivation, or just like you want to do something but you are having trouble getting to where you want to go? Like you have a goal and you want to achieve that goal, but you're having trouble like figuring out like how to get there. Whether you lack motivation, or you feel like you don't have what it takes in you to achieve the thing that you want to achieve. I want to talk to you about 3 ways that you can solve that problem for yourself. So 3 ways I want to tell you about how to achieve the motivation that you need, or the thing that you need to achieve the thing that you want, and solve that problem of feeling like a lack of motivation or a lack of ability, like I can't do this, I can't get there, and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get to that. Right behind my board, I have 3 things I want to slowly walk you through. So let me pull these apart. I put them into 3 things. I want to go through the first one. 1, 2, 3. The first one I want to tell you about is this is the first answer to the problem. Do what you like. So the first step is do the thing that you like. So a lot of times we have problems with motivation, or have problems achieving what we want to do, is because we face pleasure and displeasure. So it's easy for the human being to do what you love, to get something, to get pleasure, and you want to avoid pain. So a lot of times, like when you're trying to do things, you are avoiding some sort of pain and looking towards some sort of pleasure. So in this case of solving the first problem is try to find something that you like out of the situation and try to do what you like. Because I know you might say, well, that's not easy because what I want to do is hard. But the point is, you got to find some aspect of doing something that you like out of it, because it's going to be very hard to keep going. But generally, if you got to find a way to get something good out of what you're trying to achieve. So in order to do that, you want to find some intrinsic pleasure out of doing the thing, whether that's staying away from something or doing something. You want to find, an aspect of it that you like in the situation and focus on that thing, because when you like it, you're going to want to do it. So that's the first step. The second step that I want to tell you about is look at the end result. So we as humans are driven by seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. So the first step is do what you like, because what you like is going to give you the pleasure. And if you find something you like out of it, you'll get pleasure. Look at the end result, because something might be difficult, but you have to look at the end result is that if the end is going to be really painful, then realize that, because in the short term, the thing that you're trying to do or trying to avoid might be painful for you, but if you look at the end, you'll see the pleasure out of accomplishing it or finishing it, and then you'll see the pain if you don't do it. So let's say you want to go to school or something like that, and you want to achieve something, and you know that it's hard, but you're like, oh, it's so painful. But what if you look at the end and say, well, how painful is it going to be if you get nowhere? How painful, and then how much pleasure will you get when you get to that end? So look at not the short term result, because then you're gonna just go for the quick and do the pleasure and avoid the pain and things like that. But if you look at the end result of it, what's the pleasure at the end, and what's the pain you'll avoid at the end? Same thing when it comes to finances, achieving goals, starting a business, whatever that thing is. Try to look at the end, keep that in your mind, because that'll give you the motivation. The third thing I want to tell you about is, and this is very critical and the culmination of a lot of this stuff, because you can do this and you can do this, but without this, the problem won't be solved. So what it is get small wins. What does that mean, get small wins? So confidence and motivation doesn't come from nothing, right? You're still human, and you need to have pleasure, and you need to avoid pain, and you need connection. There's a lot of things you need as a human being to get the thing that you want to achieve. So if you are finding something extremely difficult and you're not doing, at all, you're not achieving what you want to achieve, it's going to get very harder because your body and mind naturally is going to want to stay away from it because you're in so much pain when you do it subconsciously. It doesn't have to be like physical pain, but it's just like a child who can't read, right? Like it's just so painful because like it sucks. They just can't do it and it just hurts every time they try to do it. So that's why the trick to this is get small wins. When you get the little wins, you get a little confidence, and then you build and you stack on top of that to get to the bigger thing. So if you want to do something that seems out of the way, try to break it down into little things and achieve a small win so that you get this pleasure and you get this confidence boost from it, and naturally your body will move you towards the next step because you gave yourself that reward. You know, it's just like someone, you know, when you do something good and you applaud for them, naturally it just feels good, right? And you feel great about it. So that small win is going to give you the next boost in confidence. So again, so that's the final step, and it's important to turn this into a habit. So the first one is do what you like, look at the end result, and 3, get small wins. Alright guys, so that's been this video. If you have any questions, please drop a like, drop a comment below. I look forward to it. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'll make sure to answer them later.